On the 23rd of September, I attended the monthly regional task force meeting for the casinos. As I mentioned, our initial discussions were if a casino is located in Palmer, what are the abutting communities in trying to influence legislation as far as mitigation funds. We talked about not only abutting communities, but those communities impacted by the casino. In the Palmer scenario, Belchertown was an abutting community. We are now looking at expanding that to look at the possibility of Warren, which, although not abutting, what the group has discussed certain travel groups that Belchertown would be an impacted community, primarily as a result of 181, but also the colleges, that they felt the colleges would create a traffic pattern, but also question of some youngsters who may partake of the casino and may have a drink or two, and how it would impact the travel lanes to the casino. So the purpose that I was there is just so that if there is down the road a casino in either place, that Belchertown hopefully would be in line for some mitigation funds if that was to come about. There's not a whole hell of a lot of funds out there. I mean, they're talking about the host community gets, I believe, like 1%, and then the rest of it is split 1%. So there's very little money available. In my discussion with the casino group is we didn't want to expand the impacted communities too wide, other than keeping Belchertown in there, but also to understand there's only going to be a small amount of money available from that. So, but positive news, I guess, we received a letter or an email indicating that the initial thought is that they would take up this issue this calendar year. The indication now is that it is not going to be discussed in this calendar year. It will be pushed off to probably late winter, early spring, before they discuss this issue. There's too many other issues that are of greater importance right now. So we do still have time. They're discussing this with other communities. The main concern is the impacted communities. The closer you are to the casino, without being a host community, historically, the more negative impacts there will be. So one of the things they talk about, I've heard the different groups presenting, is that the key employment group for this will not be college groups. These are jobs that will basically just probably above minimum wage. And what benefits, we don't know, because unlike the casinos in Connecticut, which are tribal, this will be private. And it's a whole new ballgame. So, there's a lot of things that are still on the plate that we still have to be aware of. But we have come up with priorities as far as what legislation we want. Mitigation funds is right up there. We want transportation funds for roads, infrastructure. We wanted public safety funds. Education was very key, as well as housing. Those were the primary issues, because as an influx of employees that aren't going to be making a lot of money, and it doesn't necessarily mean the focus is going to be hiring on a regional basis. There could be people brought in, and how this affects on the governor's executive order for 10% housing. How does that affect the different communities? So there's still a number of things that we are going to be really pushing for. So I just want to keep you up to date.
Are we only considering 2 locations in terms of our impact?
Right now, the 2 locations that this group, the Western Mass Task Force, is primarily looking at Palmer and Reardon. I know there were other sites that have been mentioned, such as Springfield, Holyoke, and Chickney. but somehow they haven't come to the surface really as much as the Warren and Palmer site. So when those do come about, we'll have to look at what is the impact if we go in that direction. So it's a moving target.
Thank you.